Good morning, seventh grade. I hope that we're having a great week so far and a great day as well. Today's video is going to be all about adding numbers on the number line. So, without further ado, let's get to the video.
Today, we're going to be talking about how to model addition of integers on the number line. So we're going to start off with an example, and then I'll kind of tell you how we need to work with the number line going forward. So suppose you received $10 from your grandmother for your birthday. You spent $4 on snacks. Using addition, how would you write an equation to represent the situation? Well, you would start off with $10, right? And they only want us to use addition, so I have to add something, but I'm losing. I've spent $4 on snacks. I need to think about how can I essentially give away this 4? Well, the opposite of adding would be like subtraction or using a negative number. So this is like 10 plus negative 4 here. That's going to help me out, and that's going to equal $6. So now it's a matter of putting this on the number line. So when I start putting numbers on the number line, I always have to start at 0, and I have to count to where my first number is. So I have to go to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the first stop. And then I have to go from 10, and I have to go, if I see a negative sign, that means I have to move to the left. I'm going left, so I need to go left 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm finished here. I'm finished at 6, so I circle my answer there. Okay, so let's just write here, positive, move right. Positive slash add. How about that? Add slash positive. Subtract slash negative. Move left. So that's going to help you out. Okay. But if we wanted to figure out in essence how far away or this distance, we can use what is called absolute value. So let's go into what absolute value actually means. So absolute value in essence is how far a number is away from 0. In other words, it is the magnitude or size of a number. No negatives are allowed. Okay. The symbol, that bar, is placed on either side to mean absolute value. So we write this as the absolute value of -6. The distance away from 0 to -6 is +6. And we can use this to sort of help us out when we are working with positive and negative numbers. We can start to think about absolute values, different things like that. Okay, so let's use the absolute value in order to help kind of answer these questions. So how does the absolute value determine the arrow length for -2? Use the number line provided to support your answer. So I know for -2, if I want to go from 0 to -2, finish there, but I have the absolute value of -2, which tells me it's 2. So that means it's 2 units away, but because I have that negative sign originally, it tells me I have to move left when I am doing that. So it's to the left 2 units. How does the absolute value determine the arrow for length 3? Well, I know the absolute value of 3 is just 3. So that tells me it's 1, 2, 3 units to the right. And part C, describe how the absolute value helps you represent -10 on a number line. Well, I could just take the absolute value of -10, and I know that it's going to be 10 units at least, or exactly, not at least. And I see that I have a negative sign again, so I know it's 10 units to the left from 0. Remember, this is always the distance away from 0. Okay? So let's answer some other questions, shall we? Create a number line model to represent each of the expressions below. -6 plus 4. So again, I have to go from 0. I have to go to the left 6. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need to move to the right because I'm adding. I need to move to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I finish at -2. So I know that -6 plus 4 equals -2. And one last question, 3 plus -8. So I start at 0 and I move to the right 3. I'm adding, which is great, but I'm adding a negative, so I still have to move left, okay? So I'm going to go to the left 8 times. So I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and that tells me that my final answer is going to be at -5. So I know that 3 plus -8 is going to give me -5. So let's go to our lesson summary for today. On a number line, arrows are used to represent integers. They show length and direction. So even though I was using bumps, you can also use arrows. That is also fine. The length of an arrow on the number line is the absolute value of an integer. Remember that distance away from 0. So if this is 5, the absolute value of 5 tells me that this is 5 units away. If it was going to the left, -5, that would still tell me the absolute value of -5 is 5, and it still tells me it's 5 units away from 0. Adding several arrows is the same as combining integers and integers in the integer game. You don't really know that part, don't worry about that. And then the sum of several arrows is the final position of the last arrow, aka our answer. So that is all that I have for you today. We are going to be talking more about adding integers. But if you have any questions, please let me know either on Schoology or leaving a comment on this video. But until next time, I hope that you all have a great day.